So, I think you guys all know who this is, right? The Honorable Jerome H. Powell. But do you know what just happened? Do you know what just happened, guys? He wins Forbes Crypto Person of the Year honors. Do they give awards for snark? I am amazed that this guy has won the Crypto of the Year award. I find this very interesting. But in the end, there's a couple of points in which we can kind of understand why he'd win. One of them being, of course, the heavy US monetary policy, the pumping trillions into the economy, which actually is one of the biggest pushes for crypto adoption. Because I think a lot of people have decided to go for crypto because of this guy then. So maybe there's a point. Guys, we are giving away 250 XRP the first time a video hits 1,500 likes within 24 hours. And all you have to do is make sure you press the like button, make sure you are subscribed, and make sure you comment something down below. And check out the Stop of the Mains. Pick some up if you want to. I picked some up. And Webull, you can get 4 stocks for free if you're from the US. And also comment down below if we should buy something. All right, I asked last video, but not that many people responded saying what I should buy. What coin should I buy here, guys? Live. All right, well, I'm just going to show it in a video that we buy something because I think that's pretty cool. It's kind of my own birthday gift to me. Let me know what crypto I should buy. I'm, of course, a little bit afraid of missing out, but hey, it's worth the risk I kind of find. Again, this is on BitChart. I just deposited 1,000 to show you guys in a video here what I'm going to be doing. All right, so let's further check this article out. U.S. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell is the winner of Forbes' inaugural Person of the Year in Crypto Award, an honor for which the central bank chairman is unlikely to make room on his mantle. Because Powell's Fed effectively printed more than $3 trillion in new money, almost doubling the central bank's balance sheet in the process, it helped create an atmosphere that converted many long-time crypto skeptics into believers, Forbes noted in the award. Forbes quoted venture firm Pantera Capital as saying the Fed's actions created 2 centuries of debt in 1 month. That spending spree and concomitant debt explosion led one of the judges, Anthony Pompliano of Morgan Creek Digital, to credit Powell with basically creating a $3 trillion marketing campaign for Bitcoin. Crypto investors have been betting all year that the flood of government and central bank spending to fight the CV-caused economic slowdown will eventually lead to inflation, against which Bitcoin is viewed as a hedge. So he kind of deserves it in a certain degree. He probably won't come out and claim it. I can actually say for 90% certain that he won't come out and claim it, but he does deserve it in some way, shape, or form. All right, then after promoting Bitcoin merge discount, Mark Cuban praises Bitcoin's monetary policy. The billionaire seems to have 1 foot in, 1 foot out when it comes to Bitcoin. And all I can say is this guy just wants to earn freaking money. He doesn't care about your coin, doesn't care about all of us. He just wants to earn more money. We have said it a couple of times before. He's not a crypto bull. He doesn't care about it that way. He just wants to make money. So just keep that in the back of your head. It doesn't matter how much of a discount you get. He's just trying to earn money. And a lot of people who use crypto will like this, engage with it, and actually might purchase stuff which makes him more money. By the way, coming back to this point, I kind of find as if Jerome Powell, if we're talking about XRP, is actually not even one of the worst guys. I actually kind of feel as if he's a good guy for XRP, as everything that he's doing kind of points out that there needs to be a better way to transact across borders, or just to transact in general. I kind of feel as if Jerome here has actually added to this whole narrative that, hey, we should do something about this. So to a certain degree, I also think he's kind of a bull on XRP. And I had actually another article open somewhere. I'm just looking for it on the side here. It's about the remittances, which I kind of thought about when we're talking about Fed Jerome Powell here. Let me quickly see wherever it is at. We'll just talk before I can find it in just a second. Because all these remittances here, yeah, they make up a good part of what XRP did. Let me just show you guys. I shouldn't talk when I don't know what to say. How important are U.S. remittance markets to Ripple? Analyst Kotran. Because of the importance of the U.S. to the global remittance market, the SEC's action against Ripple could have far-reaching consequences, according to Adam Kotran. The probability for delisting XRP on the U.S. exchange Kraken is high, and the delisting on multiple is high. But once more, when they're delisting, what mostly happens is they don't allow you anymore to deposit money. It doesn't actually mean that your money is lost or your wallet is gone. They would just not allow you anymore to either trade it, but from the start, most likely to just deposit it. right? So you just cannot bring more to the platform, and eventually you cannot trade it anymore on there. But you will 99% certainly be able to withdraw it still because these are your coins. What happens if it's officially declared a security? I do not know if you're from the US. However, I am not from there, so to me, it does not matter because nobody's going to take my coins away from me. The smell of Europe feels nice sometimes when you're not kind of, barked in by the freaking US regulations because they want to protect their investors, they say, but it's just bad stuff. To come back to the US Federal Reserve point, they've actually been quite positive on the whole situation here. I kind of feel. I feel like everything we've talked about with the Fed is either about monetary policy or like a positive crypto kind of way. It's not like he's actually doing anything very negative for crypto as of this moment, in comparison to the SEC, of course. Companies owning $30 billion and increasing their funds as Bitcoin targets 30,000. Corporate firms all over the world now own more than $30 billion in Bitcoin and up to 5.5% of the total supply. BS. It is most likely closer to 40% or so what they really own, but a couple of firms here that we know of both have $15 billion worth. Right here you can see Grayscale has $15 billion. Here Mt. Gox actually has still quite a lot of money in its little rehabilitation program, and there's been a couple of other exchanges here. No, not exchanges, kind of funds like that who have like tons. MicroStrategy has $1.8 billion and so on and so forth. Saying, however, that it's $30 billion is a very low amount, it's just because a lot of these companies don't disclose it that publicly, but they have. Tether regulation proposal, apocalyptic for crypto. The stable act could spell the end of Tether. The US Gov wants stricter controls over stablecoins, and Tether may be replaced with a regular crypto dollar, which is going to be, bank-oriented. I kind of feel as if this would be pretty damn strange for all of us. I kind of feel as if it's pretty strange for all of us, because what was going to happen to our Tether then, if you have it? Are they going to automatically change it over from Tether to US dollar, or will it lose its value then? So all our money that is in Tether is just going to be lost? Because if they're doing this once more to protect the investor, they cannot go for something like that. Maybe they'll just make a 1-to-1 ratio where Tether is just going to remain at $1, because otherwise it would still be at 0.01 eventually because people will just massively sell it. So they might rule where Tether has to stay at a 1-to-1 ratio, and you can kind of give those Tether for the real US dollar or something like that, where you just can convert it to dollar and not convert it with other coins anymore, so it's going to keep its value. Otherwise, this would again be a very shitty move, just taking away about, let's say, $10 billion worth, because $10 billion might be salvaged, $10 billion would definitely be lost in the process. Financial guru Dave Ramsey doubts Bitcoin can be cashed out, advises Bitcoin investors to sell now. This is you can see he has some bald spots right there. I'm going to say this is just because of the age. All right, I'm not saying he's an old man. I'm not trying to say that. He actually isn't even that old. I'm just talking about the idea that the older the people who commenting on this, the more problems they see. All right, it's not a general idea, because I know some guys at 75, that's, I guess, a little bit towards the older side. It's kind of funny. The older your folks are that you talk to, the higher you put that age. Because I know when I used to talk to, if you only talk with 25-year-olds, 40 is kind of old, right? If you only talk to 55 or 65-year-olds, it's when 83 gets really old. And you're like, 65 only? Oh, okay. So just retired. Okay, that's not that old. That's pretty cool. It's really kind of funny how that changes as well. So again, I'm not saying Dave Ramsey here is an old guy. I'm just trying to say he's a little bit older than the average crypto investor, I should say. And the older you get, I've kind of found out with the people I talk to, and I talk to a lot of people, is that, crypto will be able to be sold out. You can always sell it. There's not really a problem in that regard. There's no accusation that you can't really say you cannot cash it out. But they are more skeptical towards everything that's happening right there. They either don't understand the technology, or they don't understand the fact that, it's actually a real currency and has a real purpose. He called it funny money and recommends selling Bitcoin immediately. And I get that. He is a very good debt coach. I do think, if you are in crazy debt, you might use his tips to get back up there. If you are a wealthy individual, or you know how to make money, I would definitely not recommend listening to him. All right, none of these videos are financial advice, and if you think he is good for you, do that. But I'm just saying, I've watched a ton of his videos. Why? Because I see those titles and I'm interested to see what people really ask. For a certain degree, though, I think a couple of those videos are definitely fake, but also on a different end, a lot of the advice that he gives does not really suit my own narrative or my own idea, where I'm like, well, sometimes if you have some money, you may be able to spend it in some way, shape, or form that you would like. For example, some guys have a ton of freaking money or like a car loan that's pretty damn big, and they tell them their income, and I'm like, well, if this guy wants that car with that income, knowing well he's also investing another part of it, and he just has this plan, why not do it? Unless he's in crazy debt, just normal debt. But if you're in car debt, I kind of feel as if that one can be justified unless some others are wrong. That doesn't matter for the bigger situation, though. He often gives advice about people that already have money to even save more, for example. Or just, I guess, yeah, it's kind of hard to say because I have to give some literal examples. But he sometimes also inclines people to spend more, right? And I always am in the middle. I'm like, well, don't buy like a house in that sense. Don't buy this, don't buy that whenever I'm watching. And I just disagree with a lot of his things. But giving some concrete examples is hard because it's been months since I watched his last video. So I don't know completely in a direct way which we disagree upon. Whenever I'm watching, I'm like, man, I wouldn't have done that, right? And he, I think, has made more money than I have. I'm not too certain, but I do think he has because, of course, you guys know how much money I've made in my life. But yeah, financial advice here, I think he's also making a lot of money with giving the financial advice right there. So, yeah. All right, moving on. Sound money versus the Great Reset feed Mark Moss. All right, this is something I don't want to spend too much time on, but title, one of the most popular economics and Bitcoin YouTube hosts joins NLW for a conversation about how to make 2021 better. I just read the title, and I was kind of inclined to watch it. However, I didn't do that. Why? Well, I kind of feel as if this can learn me nothing, because we've talked about the Great Reset for so long, yet there are so many factors which are part of it, and we can speculate for hours upon end of what potentially could happen, what could change the world, but it still has to happen for it to come through, and I'm not investing in any speculation around the Great Reset right here. I'm investing in cryptocurrency because I think, well, there's a huge longevity and a huge crypto potential, but of course, a good part of it is it might replace the financial system. It might do something to aid towards that. However, the bigger picture as it stands right now is that Bitcoin and all of these other cryptocurrencies will actually fit themselves into the financial picture, not having a great reset, not having a huge change of pace or anything like that, but it will just be part of it, like gold is part of it right now as well. Bitcoin waits for retail pump despite all-time highs. Again, people haven't really actually gotten into crypto that massively just quite yet. It's mostly institutions that are just driving up demand just now, which is pretty good in my opinion. I like it, but it's also to be understood right now that it's not the big thing just quite yet. All right, that's the easiest way to say it here. It's not the big thing just quite yet. People are only just starting to get into it right now, and I think within a couple of months here, as 2021 rolls on by, yeah, a lot of retail will pop on in, but yeah, it's gonna be when it hits like 30-something thousand. We predicted this a couple of times before in our bigger Bitcoin pictures, where we talk about these fractals, for example. I always forget how to close this one. It's a very small button. S&P 500 companies will hold Bitcoin by the end of 2021, majority of the blog's Outlook surveyed respondents say. So, of course, I don't care what these respondents say. I just care about the idea that, at the end of a year or so now, a lot of companies will hold Bitcoin. I thought about it. I'm like, well, literally, yeah, in a couple of years from now, so let's say, for example, let's not say a couple of years from now, let's say a couple of months from now, a ton of these companies will actually have invested in crypto. As it's happening right now, piece by piece, we hear about 3 big names or so every single week. If that continues on and just keeps increasing with like the snowball effect, eventually we'll hear from 10 companies every single week, and then 20 companies and 50 companies, and eventually you'll have, let's say, 100 companies a week, and that might already be at the end of 2021, where a couple of these S&P 500 companies will actually be amongst them. I do think so, though. As, again, everybody's exploring it right now, and the things are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I think people are also getting more excited about it, but yeah. Guys, that was it for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe, and I would definitely see you guys again in another crypto video.